It's great to be here. So I'm from the CATS Foundation, and we provide support to families affected by two rare diseases called Tay-Sachs and Sandhoff. They mainly affect children, and unfortunately they're terminal. I'll go into more detail on that when I come speak to you later, because I want to talk more about the mentoring programme. So we were paired up with Holly, and she works for a pharma company called Ilis. She has expertise in clinical trials. That's one of the key areas for us, because we're very close to starting a clinical trial that will treat both Tay-Sachs and Sandhoff disease. And so we wanted to actually have a very clear outcome goal that we could get from this peer mentoring scheme. So we thought it was quite important to say after a year, have we actually achieved anything specific or not? So our goal was to develop a resource materials for families who will be taking part in a clinical trial. And that's quite a big piece of work, because of the content you have to include can be technical, not technical, specific to the disease, and who can take part. So we wanted it to be easy to use, very informative, and a modern form of communication. This is quite important, especially for us, because a lot of our families are younger, and so they're quite savvy, tech savvy, so they use lots of social media and things. It's a traditional way of having printed materials kind of turns them off. They don't want to read it, they want to see something. So our project was just to develop a video that would actually explain the clinical trial, that would explain how it works. And to get that information, we asked all of the parents and the carers of the kids, so what do you actually want to know? We can tell them what we think they want to know, but in fact there may be questions, or practical questions like, if I take part, where do I live? Can my whole family come with me? So we went and asked them exactly the information they wanted. And we invited the researchers who are doing the trial, the paediatricians who are going to be involved in it, charity representatives, and also other families talking about the condition itself in more detail, to develop this video. So if we had one day that they all came down and we recorded them with different cameras, and we've edited it together. We'll make it available on social media. We're obviously going to use email and newsletters and send it out to them. And they'll be able to download it, they get a hard copy on a USB drive for them to watch. They'll be online. And also, one thing we're doing is translating it, because for us, a rare disease, like many of us here, means that we don't have access to that many patients. So it's very important that we're able to get this out to the whole of Europe, because that's who the trial's open to. So we helped found a couple of charities throughout Europe. And using a system called Amara, which is an amazing system, you can translate videos for like 40 cents a minute. So you get that through Vimeo. And what it is, it's a community. So Holly helped us find this community of translators who will translate anything, any sort of video. And so for us, we've got German, Spanish, French and Portuguese of this trial video. And it's going to be available for everyone who's going to take part, and we'll distribute it to them accordingly. Now Holly's expertise in clinical trials made a big impact, because it allowed us to actually get to the nitty-gritty of what we think they should know and put that together with what they want to know. It's really important that people aren't just given reams and reams of information that's useless, that you're kind of doing because you think it's the right thing to do. So we were much more specific on that content, and Holly really helped us to make sure that it was correct, and also the ethics and everything else was all above board. So when it's available, Flora will be able to share that as well with everyone. And it just means that families won't feel so scared when if their child is to take part in the clinical trial. They'll understand it, they have all of the content, all the information specific to it. So that was our outcome goal. And after the year was to have this video in place, ready to go. A bit behind deadline, because the trial got delayed for a few months, and also the ethics. As you can imagine, this is quite huge, but the video is done, so that's the important thing for us. So thank you. Any questions about the diseases, about doing this sort of thing, about Amara? It's a great piece of technology which you can answer.